Do not keep holding what you have identified as sinful intentions. Dear friends, in today's reading from the Gospel according to Saint Matthew, we come across the familiar teaching of Jesus on adultery, divorce, and remarriage. In the Old Testament, the Ten Commandments were not just some rules to regulate only some external actions. However, because of centuries of Jewish legalism and a focus on the letter of the law, the Jews made a separation between intention and action. They came to regard action as more important than intention and motive. Jesus, who wishes to instill true holiness in the hearts of people, does demand more than what was demanded by the Ten Commandments. He counsels us to root out not just the fruit or consequence of adultery, but more importantly, the very seed that leads to it. After all, one who does not lust after a woman will certainly not commit adultery with her. Jesus does not do away with the Old Testament injunction against adultery. In fact, Jesus raises it to a new level. He authoritatively revealed the true nature and meaning of the law itself. But I say this to you, I, the Son of God, now says this to you. Jesus is making it clear that intentions are to be judged the same way the deeds are to be judged. The exhortation to pluck out the eye and to cut off the limb if they cause us to sin seems to be very extreme and strange. If we were to practice this verse in the literal sense, then there wouldn't be any able-bodied person left on earth. Is Jesus advocating self-mutilation? Of course not. He is demanding radical sacrifices for the purpose of avoiding the occasions of sin. St. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 9:27, I pummel my body and subdue it, lest after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. The lustful eye is not to be mutilated, but to be brought under control. Amputation would scarcely curb one's passions, since the problem is not with the body itself, but with us, as St. Paul puts it, sin that dwells in me. Therefore, if we strive to maintain purity of intention, then we must be alert in order to root out sinful intentions from our heart. The Gospel does not just say, pluck out the eye or cut off the limb, but also to throw them away. Do not keep holding what you have identified as sinful intentions. Throw them away, and you will experience the fruit of this renunciation, which is your good, pure, and holy deeds.